Hello, hello, hello. Good morning and welcome. You are on the mountain with Rick, and it is time for some Splinterlands. But first, coffee. Y'all already knew that was coming. How y'all doing out there in the chat? What is good? What is good? Thank you so much, Garlic and Bootops. What's good, Jabby Saints, Arnie Boy, King Koi, my favorite Middle Earthling. Ah, that's nice. It hits the spot. Sorry if my voice is a little bit rough today. Still under the weather a bit myself, but we are taking over for empathy once again. Hoping that we're going to be able to start things off. What's good, Ank12C? We are waiting on something to arrive. I should have been here by now. It's been more than, well, almost 24 hours, but waiting on a couple copies of Immortalis. Alright, let's go on. Wait, I don't even have Peak Monsters open. What the heck am I doing? Well, more important things. 2 days ago, just want to bring this to y'all attention. Splinterlands posted on their blog a social media challenge. So it's only got a couple of days left. The deadline is Sunday at noon Central. So that would be 1 p.m. my time, which is in 5 hours from now. So you have 5 hours and 3 days. But the concept is, let's get Splinterlands trending. We want your best, most exciting post about Splinterlands. Got a battle that is too good not to share? Have you created something amazing? Do you have thoughts on stats, cards, abilities, and/or gameplay? We want it all, and we want it to be awesome. Make sure you tag Splinterlands and Play to Earn when sharing outside of Hive. Speaking of, where should you share it? Literally anywhere. Here are some examples to get you started. Twitter, Facebook, Insta, Medium, YouTube, Publish 0x, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Snapchat. There are tons of places out there. Share, share, share. How do you get an upvote? Create amazing Splinterlands content on the Hive blockchain. It should obviously be Splinterlands content. We want to reward our Splinterlands community. Make it look good. Need help formatting? Check out this ultimate markdown tutorial. Use it. Trust me. I'm actually going to go ahead and preload that for later. Never mind. I'm going to go ahead and open link in new tab. This may also come in handy. Splinterland card images by level. That is actually super handy. I wish I knew about that before. Include your Splinterlands referral link. This is required. You must give your viewers and readers a path to Splinterlands. Note, battle links already include your referral. Oh, that's also super helpful. I did not know that. Share the post to another social media platform. Tag it #Splinterlands and #PlayToEarn. Let's get trending. Include a link to your shared post in your Hive post in a comment below. Deadline of noon CDT Sunday. Voting quantity. You can get a max of 2 upvotes per week. Please only enter 2 posts per week. This includes the battle challenge. Take your time, make them awesome. Anyone found using more than one account to enter the contest will be muted in the community and banned from all curation and the possibility for participation in future contests. Oh my head. Please note, upvotes are not guaranteed and are up to the curator's discretion. Manual curation. Oh, thank you. I don't feel that, but I'm excited because after the stream, I've got an interview. Probably the first interview. It's a phone interview, but hopefully get the ball rolling in the right direction. That's right. Splinterland's Steam Monsters is manually curating and upvoting your posts. We currently are working with 12 amazing community curators, plus official team members also have the powers to upvote. We, the curation team, work together to try and upvote in order of entry. Sometimes we get a couple of days behind, so we can just let the VP heal in order to give larger upvote values. Make sure you drop your links within a day or two of posting so we can get to it. If you ever have had any questions or concerns, do reach out. And as always, thank you for creating amazing content and sharing Splinterlands with the world. And I found this, and I thought it was interesting, and I don't think that this is the first one. Like, this is a kind of an ongoing thing, I believe. Somebody feel free to correct me in the chat. But I think that this is an ongoing thing, but it's one that I have not been taking advantage of. And obviously, I definitely should try and do a little bit more. Because those upvotes matter, man. Like, it's a real thing. And then I realized that I had not done my my seasonal report for the last season, and I want to do that with the KOKiz tool, and won't you know, it's too late. And so, yeah, I thought so for years. Okay, well, I haven't even been here for years, but yeah, I thought that was an ongoing thing that they've already been doing. But yeah, it's good to know that that's something that they do. Of course, they want to help the game grow, and that's a great way to do it, but also help individual players that are also helping the game grow. Unfortunately, it's too late for the I'll get my thoughts together one of these days. It's too late for the have to have meaningful content. Well, yeah. I mean, I know that my my end of season report would not have qualified to get an upvote there, but it would have still been at least something. Because this was my best ever end of season, definitely. I haven't even played since then, so it'll still be pretty high up on the list here. I mean, that's definitely my first time ever pulling multiple legendaries. First time I've seen 3 digits of SPS. And 6 packs was also pretty nice. 3 of those ended up going to Nifty, but I'm okay with that. It means I got to keep my 2 legendaries, so. And it was also a pretty good daily for the last day of last season. Unfortunately, since then, I've not had any cards, and I have actually sold the rest of what I did have because I had to pay rent. So I'm literally down to 556 cards now, which I guess does still sound like a decent amount, but that's all we got left, and it's all rented out right now because it is not a playable deck for sure. So last time I got COVID, we didn't really quarantine or anything like that. My girl ended up not getting it. And it just beat my butt up and down. And then this time, she got it first. And I got it from her. And it's still whooping me even worse than her. She's got the taste and smell portion of it. But I've got a headache for the last 3 days, and my sore throat and everything like that. She's got the congestion and everything like that, which I don't. It's so weird that it obviously I got it from her, and yet it's affecting both of us in completely different ways. What do we have that is not rented out, actually? Do I have any level ups I can do? I'm not seeing anything particularly jumping out at me. Yeah, we could probably do some bandits. I was about to go and delete that one, but then I remembered what it's called, and I don't want to do that on Splinterlands TV. That's a bunch of tusks. I could level that up. What do you get and what do you take? You take 4, and you only get 1 HP. That's why I hadn't leveled them up. Alright, so I think my stance on the current proposal that is, the currently active proposal has been pretty well known. Who voted yes and why? I would like to hear from your perspective. Also, how's everyone liking Immortalis so far? Howdy, howdy, Canada. Welcome, welcome. You have not voted yet, not sure how you feel about it. Fair enough. I'm glad that you are taking the time to research and figure it out before voting rather than just going with your gut and rather than abstaining. Jabby Saints voted yes because he's in a see what happens phase. Okay. I don't really get that. I think if you're in a see what happens phase, wouldn't you want to let things play out the way they are? Actually, let's take a look at it, because I know it was pretty close the other day when I voted, but I don't know where we're at currently. Oh wow, we are neck and neck. Wait a minute, and it's a 70% to pass for this one? Wasn't it 80? I thought it was 80% on the others. No, it's 66.67. So currently passing. Oh, this will definitely be very beneficial to the whales, but it's going to be harmful to the game. That's my stance. You might get some benefit out of it individually. Many people will get some benefit out of it individually, but it's going to be harmful for the game, and therefore, long run, it's not going to benefit anybody individually. It's going to be to everybody's detriment, in my opinion. splinter cards, I believe. Alright, I know there was a way somewhere, somehow, we can see the exact circulating supply. Here we go. All right, so to make sure that we're working with the most accurate numbers. All right, so current circulating supply is 6.259 billion DEC. Current cost of 1,000 DEC, and again, notice the K up here, so both of these are shrunk by 1,000. Cost of 1,000 is 56.775 cents. It's still a token. The fact that it's soulbound makes it better. Like, that was my primary concern, was that it wasn't soulbound. But even with it, like, if they had addressed the rest of the concern, I like the idea behind it. I just don't like the mechanics of how it works. And the mechanics of how it works are terrible for the gameplay. Because we're basically using smoke and mirrors to make the tokenomics of DEC look better, while we're actually inflating it even more and providing a further problem for the future. Because the problem is that we have too much DEC, right? That's what they're trying to get rid of. That's what they're trying to do. And the only way that we're going to get rid of DEC is by burning it. So they want to burn a bunch of DEC now, give a 20% bonus for burning DEC later. The problem with that is that means that there is more DEC that needs to be burned before any DEC can get burned. So, like, the soulbound did help, yes, but the vouchers was also a problem. And the fact that it's another token was also a problem for me. If they had answered those two, then I would have been on board. But as it is, I'm still against, because let's take best case scenario here, right? And we all know this isn't going to happen. But best case scenario, we burn 1.6 billion DEC. We make 1.6 billion DEC. We make 2 billion DECB. So our actual circulating supply of DEC after the burn would be 4.659 billion, which could push our DEC price up to 76.27 cents. Still a less than 20% or less than 20 cent gain from where we're at, and still way less than halfway from where we are to par value. What's good, Egor? So it's going to actually increase the supply by 400 million, giving us a total DEC and DECB circulating supply, because I do look at DECB as DEC. It's purely inflation, of 6.659 billion. And with the current demand, you can see all we're doing here is just changing the numbers on the price and getting out to 0.53364. So 53.36 cents per the 1,000, which is 3 cents below where we're at. Now, worst case scenario with this burn, in terms of inflation, we could burn all 6 million vouchers. Obviously, we know that's not going to happen. This is only here for illustration's sake, but just like we know that this is not going to happen, we know that this is not going to happen. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. But we burn all 6 million vouchers. We get 1.2 billion DEC-B from that. Then we burn another 640 million DEC for the remaining 800 million DEC-B. Gives us a post-burn DEC pool of 5.619 billion, which would give us a price of 63.241 cents. But the actual supply will have increased to 6.979 billion because we have 1.2 billion DEC that was created out of nowhere. Yes, it's helpful for vouchers, but it is destroying the price of DEC and would actually send it down to 50.91 cents for the 1,000. Now, a more likely scenario would be somewhere in the middle. If roughly half of our vouchers were used, we would get 600 million DEC-B from that. And then you would have 140 or 1.4 billion DEC-B left over, which would take 1.12 billion DEC out of circulation to make them. So that would give us a circulating supply post-burn of 6.147 billion, which would result in a price of 57.809 cents for the 1,000, but would actually, again, increase our supply by 128 million and 600 million, which would give us gives us 8 billion total DEC. That's wrong. No, it's not actually. No, because this would actually be lower than that. Give us a price of 44.226 cents. And then this one is also here just for illustratory purposes. In order to actually push our DEC price to the peg, that what we're looking to do, we would actually have to burn 2.73 billion DEC. And with the way that's currently slated, that would result in a production of 3.412 billion DEC-B, would give us a circulating supply of 3.529 billion DEC, and would actually give us an inflation of 682.5 million, leading to a total pool of 9.671 billion, which would actually drive our price down to 36.743 cents. Now, I'm not saying that these figures are 100% accurate. Of course, the market is going to market. It's going to do whatever it does. This is just the trend of the current cost. So this is assuming that, all demand stays the same, and we're just talking about the changing supply. And there are factors that would go into this that are not really taken into consideration on the spreadsheet, such as, the DEC that is locked up by the team, the DEC that the DAO has, the DEC that is locked up in staking pools. Like, this is just going on the pure circulating supply, and therefore there may be larger price impacts because the actual circulating supply is smaller. That being said, the trend is clear. Like, and if we magnify the price action on this side, because we're talking about a smaller actual circulating pool, then we also have to magnify the price action on this side, because we're still talking about that same smaller pool. And the smaller the pool is, the larger the impact is. So when we're talking about trying to push the price up by inflating the token, we're going to push it down. So if we push it up more, we're going to push it down more. Better to just buy GLX instead. I don't know. Because to drop the man with liquid fiat in his pocket could be in a better buying position. Well, yeah, but I mean, if we go below 50 cents, like half of peg, I could see that actually like being very problematic. Like, I've been saying for a long time, it's going to be really hard to draw new people into a game when your stable coin is so far off of its peg. So this is just bothering me. No, not that one. Oh, damn it. Yeah, alright, not that important. Just want to fix those lines so that they're actually the same size. GLX still has over 300% APR. I mean, I'm still staking most of what I get. Actually, yesterday I restaked 100%. For most of it, I've been rounding, or I've been basically staking half, rounded up, and then selling half and putting that into SPS and staking it, or putting it into DEC to get nightmare packs to get more staked SPS. Because I'm not passing a judgment call on GLX. I think it's a very cool project. I am not going to be getting into it just because I can't afford my Splinterlands habit as it is, let alone trying to buy into another project. I'm also trying to kind of cut back some of what I'm doing on the side because that's, it's too much distraction. You've restaked all of your GLX so far. I mean, that's a solid move. I'm not looking down on you for that, to be sure. Your game, play it your way. I'm all about SPS. Even as far as DEC is concerned, like, it's kind of whatever. I'm all about the SPS. The only reason I care as much as I do about DEC is because we do need DEC to get to peg so that we can kick that flywheel in for SPS. But the way that we need to do that is not by putting out, changing the system and continuing to micromanage the price of the token and whatnot. The way that we need to do that is to get out what we've already been waiting on for 2 years. I don't even have land anymore, and land is the key. That is how we get DEC back to peg. You have all of the different resources are tied to DEC. There's going to be plenty of people that are transferring back and forth between those resources, and if we burn 1% of the value in DEC on each side of that transaction, it will not take very long at all. And maybe it's burn 1% and the team gets 2% or whatever the percentages are, but those I play tournaments for my SPS gains plus my 10K staked. Well, congrats on 10K staked, and glad that tournaments are working for you. They're not for me. I lose by entering tournaments. There was one season where I paid in, I think it was 15,000 DEC and like 107 SPS, and I got 2 SPS back. So unless you got the deck for the tournaments are definitely not profitable. Of course, you know, I'm not the best player either, so I'm not saying that, but the only time I've done well in tournaments was when I had that nifty deck and had all of the options to be able to play. Other than that, you just get beat too much by people that have more cards than you. But yeah, this is why I voted against it, because it's just inflation. No matter how you slice it, you know, it's kicking the can down the road a little bit, and they're trying to make it look like you're actually pulling the can up. No, you're not. You're creating more that has to be burned through before we can start burning DEC. It's not even enough to do what they are wanting it to do. And it's just, you know, it's inflation. And then the worst part out of it, let's get back to the worst part of the whole thing. And this is the poison pill that even if they answered all of my other questions and issues with it, once implemented, the SPS stakeholder community can vote to conduct a sale of specified amount of DEC-B tokens at any price in DEC and/or voucher tokens at any time and for a specified amount of time in order to help bolster the demand for DEC when and if it is needed. That means that this is not a one-time thing. That means that at any time, for any reason, we can have another vote and make more. And obviously, if this passes, it's because the whales want it to pass, and therefore that puts the whales in a situation of being able to control the price of DEC by issuing more DEC-B tokens. And I also see a possibility where, since it is up to community vote, I don't necessarily see this happening because I believe in our community, but it opens the possibility that you could probably get the top 10% of whales that collaborate and go in to vote together and create a situation where they're going to issue 10 billion DEC-B tokens at a price of 0.0001 DEC each for a 99.999% savings, but in order to take advantage of it, you have to burn at least 1 million DEC-B. They could absolutely set up a situation where they completely tank the economy of the game for personal gain. Again, with it being soulbound, that is a much lesser concern, but it's still there. And that is absolutely a backdoor that under no circumstances would I ever vote for. Not even the Mavs. The Mavs of the Mavs. Like the tournaments need skills and decks. Yes, absolutely, Dave. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm not the best player to begin with, and I don't have the deck, so tournaments are terrible for me. And yeah, I was trying to only do ones that I'm nearly guaranteed my entry fee back, but you know, even those I still ended up losing. Yeah, I mean, Dave's definitely a great player. I'm not trying to take anything away from any of y'all. You guys are pretty awesome. Do I think that the worst part about this is that this was a community idea and the team just decided to go ahead with the whales' demands? Honestly, as far as the where it came from, I heard some rumblings about it beforehand. I heard it mentioned on the town hall and whatnot, but I don't spend time in Mav chat. I'm not a Mav, so I don't really know all that much about where it came from. My reactions have been, like, I said it was a bad idea when it was brought up, as soon as we saw the specifics, I said, oh no, this is terrible, and I started working on that spreadsheet. And, you know, from there, it's just been, like, I react to what I've actually got in front of me. I don't really know the kind of mechanics behind how things started out and whatnot. So, no, I can't say that that's the worst part. It might be, but I'm unfamiliar with that side of the equation, if that makes sense. Give me a moment. I need to refill my coffee and put some more honey in it. I normally drink my coffee straight up black, but sometimes it's nice to add things. The honey is definitely helping with the throat issue a bit. Only thing I put in my coffee is whiskey. That being said, dry January. And I'm going to try and, it's the second time I've done dry January, so I'm going to try and make it last 2 Januaries. Yeah, renting smart is definitely one of those things that, like, I'm not very good at. Like, I know how to put together a deck. And I can win pretty well when I've got, like, all of the options. I'm still not amazing, but, like, I'm decent. But as far as renting, I definitely, when I was, you know, after sold everything the first time, was trying to rent my way up into Diamond, I definitely over-rented. Like, there's no question about that. I actually took a loss on my main account for that season. I mean, I was successful, got up to Diamond from 0 in 1 season. But I spent like 30k DEC in rentals. And I only earned back about 15k worth. Okay, now I have heard about season rentals, and is it? I was under the impression when it was first introduced that was just going to be an option. You can rent a card for a season, but it's not going to be like forced. So I thought there would still be, and I've heard them talk about this a little bit, but I have not heard confirmation one way or the other. Are you saying that it's going to be only you have to rent for the whole season? Because, yeah, that will be a negative overall effect for the game, I feel. I mean, I like a 2-day rental or 1-day rental. Honestly, I was against the 2-day rental change. I would support having a daily rental and a season rental, because season rental itself as an addition would be good for the game. That way you can lock up your card knowing, okay, I can get this card now, I'm going to have it this entire season, I don't have to worry about somebody canceling it on me. I'm in support of that. Yeah, Bushwhack, I'm with you. Like, I don't see it being a rental is only for a season. I see it being, you've got your daily rentals, and then you also have the option to rent for a season so that you don't have to worry about cancellation. That I support. If it's mandatory that it's a whole season, that would be terrible for the rental economy, which in turn would be terrible for the card economy, which in turn would be terrible for the economy. Then again, they seem to be making decisions that are in that vein. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm definitely not saying that that's out of the realm of possibility, but it is not the understanding that I have had up to this point. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I darn sure hope you're wrong. Oh, yeah. What is my favorite card in the entire Untamed set? All right, we're gonna take out the obvious answer of Kitty, because, well, that's just too easy. As far as monsters go, well, actually, my favorite card in the entire game is out of Untamed. So I had, oops, that's not the right one. Right there. My favorite card in the game. I was about to answer Failed Summoner, because Failed Summoner is also absolutely a beast, and I love that card. But then I remembered, oh yeah, Phantom of the Abyss. First ridiculously expensive card that I ever bought. And for the longest time, like, I would say for a good 6 months, like, I was constantly renting Phantom of the Abyss. And then I finally took the plunge and I bought one at $70. And, like, I don't intend on ever leveling it up as much as I would love to. I know that would be ridiculously expensive, and especially with him being about to rotate out, I'm not gonna do that. But I would love to get the Demoralize on him. And then he gets Headwinds also at the max level, so he's just amazing. The biggest problem that he has is that he is so weak to magic, and obviously if you're playing him, then magic is allowed. But this is also the reason why I want Thispa. Because if you actually had him maxed out with the max Thispa, and you run Supply Runner with it, then, we're talking about 7 speed with flying and dodge and phase, Demoralize and Headwinds. So it's just like you're just untouchable. But and I've definitely had games where he dodged like 15 times in a row to secure the win. I've had him go 1v5 and win, because he just doesn't take any damage. But if they bring any magic, then you're boned. What's good, Walk the Grid? Thispa is absolutely your most frustrating summoner, never phases. Gotcha. I have not actually played Thispa hardly at all, but I'm intrigued by the idea of Thispa. I would like to have Thispa. Like, actually, out of all of the Rift Watcher summoners, Thispa is the one I was actually most excited about. Of course, Dallin is the one that I built because, well, he was cheap. This is my first max level summoner. My only max level summoner that I own. Oh. Still working on some of the others and whatnot. I'm looking forward to rotation, so I can hopefully pick up 5 more copies of Mylor for fairly cheap and get him up to level 4. Phantom Soldier also looks like a great card. I honestly have never successfully used him. That's a little too old for me. Like, I wasn't really around during Untamed. I mean, I was, but I wasn't around when Untamed were for sale. I think they sold out like my 3rd or 4th day of playing. I came in right at the end of Untamed being on sale. I did get a single pack of dice before they managed to sell out, and that was kind of cool because I got Vera, and a Kid Yuff. And so those were my first 2 summoners that I owned. And then I went ahead and, since they were both pretty cheap, I got them both up to level 2. I don't actually remember where this extra copy of Vera came from. But, and then green was definitely my favorite color already. So I did go ahead and pick up Mylor. I saw how powerful he was. And I got my original 5 BCX level 2 for like $1 and change per BCX. So pretty good deal on him. Then I picked up my gold Brighton, because that was right after I figured out that gold cards are the key. Got my gold Brighton for $8. But yeah, right now is definitely a time anyone who's got some dry powder that they're looking to put in, I would very much be focusing on summoners right now. There are crazy good deals on summoners. It's ridiculous that you can find them for under $1. The prices on the legendaries, just ridiculous. Like, this is insane. This is just insane. 65 cents? 65 cents for General Slung. Like, that's just nuts. $0.89 for Thaddeus. 90 cents for Tarsa. Like, I can't believe that Tarsa's under $1. That's insane. And that's for a single BCX copy. That's not even like... Gold cards are the key to happiness, to long-term success. Like, gold cards are amazing because of the fact that, simply put, they will pay for themselves. In terms of a gold card versus a regular card of the same level, not only is the gold card going to look better and be more fun to play, but also it's literally going to pay for itself over time just because of the 10% bonus to your wins. So the first card that I bought, I realized very early on that gold was the key. You can buy a max level Sloan for $72. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to buy max level any summoner for under $100. Yeah, it's insane. Like, and you could actually probably put together a Sloan for even less than that, because the low buy per BCX is $6.17. Or 61.7 cents. Sorry. But yeah, like, it's insane. But yeah, since gold foils give you that 10% bonus, like, the first thing I did was I was like, all right, I need to find a gold foil that I can use in every battle. And so the first card I ever purchased was not a summoner. It was gold. First card I ever purchased, Horny Toad. And I paid, if I remember correctly, it was 80 cents for him. Because my line of thought was, well, he's 3 mana and he's got reach. So I can run him in position 2 and he's not going to be terrible. He's not going to be great, but he's not going to be terrible. And I can just run him in almost every single game just to get that 10% bonus. And I did that for a long time. Like, I ran him almost every single game. I realized that over time it did kind of hurt my win percentage, but when I was winning, I was getting that extra 10% just for having that card. And then over time, it paid for itself just in those extra DEC from the winnings at least 5 or 6 times over. And then I sold it for $28. Bought it for 80 cents. Probably made at least $5 to $6 just off of the 10% bonus, and then sold it for 28 bucks. Like, that's probably my single best flip. And then now it's back down. Like, I kind of want to pick him up again. If he wasn't rotating out, then I probably would. You also lucked out and pulled the gold foil Kelia, which made you build a gold foil water team. Nice. Well, y'all saw. I mean, I believe in gold to the point where yeah, all gold summoners. I actually had my my General Sloan in gold also up to level 5. Thaddeus Brood lagging a little bit behind, of course. But, yeah, like, I absolutely believe in gold. I did, until I sold all my cards. I was wild only. So for the last, like, 4 seasons, I've been in Modern, and I don't really care for Modern. I like Wild better, and that's why I'm super stoked for rotation, because I believe, you know, as a Magic player, I know how that goes. Like, all of the cards that rotate out are probably going to drop in price for a little bit, and so I'm definitely hoping to pick up at least, you know, 5 more copies of Mylor so that I can get him up to level 4. Why did I sell all my cards? Well, there have been three times where I've put all of my cards on the market. The first one was when SPS hit 4 cents. And it was because I realized, like, I was pushing up to the point where I could play into Diamond, but I could not compete in Diamond due to card levels. And I realized that it was going to cost me more than I could actually invest to be able to improve my deck to that level. And I also realized that even if I was staying in gold, that I could earn more on the SPS just being staked than I was earning from using my cards in battle. So I basically put every card that I owned on the market, and I sold probably 80% of them. Left them up for a couple of days. Whatever didn't sell, I then took off the market and I put it onto my rental account. When I did that, the other part of that decision was I took almost all of that DEC, put it into SPS, and staked it. So I increased my SPS staking from a little under 3K to over 12K. And now I'm at like 13.5, something like that. So so basically the biggest part of it was I need to increase my staked SPS, and that was before, you know, GLX was announced, but it was before it happened. And so knowing that, you know, I'm going to get GLX tokens based on my SPS, everything like that. And then also another part of it was that was right when Lux was coming out, and I knew that Jim was getting 2 copies, and I had already worked out a deal with him to where I was going to be the beneficiary of one of those copies. So I knew that I had a long-term rental for Lux, and so I also switched over to Modern at that time. And for content creation purposes, my intention was to try and fight from Novice all the way up into Diamond with just Lux. And that is when we made the switch over to Modern, everything like that. And whatever cards had not sold, I put that all on the rental account. And so I was starting almost from scratch, but and also kind of chasing the new player experience, because y'all know how much I love to talk about new player experience. So I wanted to really like immerse myself in it again. And even then, the thought process was like, I know this is not actually new player experience, because I'm sitting on 100,000 DEC. I can rent any card I want right away. I have a year and a half of experience, so I know what cards to rent. I have, this huge community of support, and, I already know where to go to find answers to any questions, things like that. Like, all of these are things that new players do not have, that they were advantages that I did. So I will never actually have the true new player experience again, but that was as close as I could get. Did I get to Diamond with only Lux? No. I kept getting knocked from Bronze back into Novice with only Lux. I found it very difficult and extremely frustrating, and the only way that I actually got out of Bronze was after a couple of days of struggling. One of my audience members, Saint John, he saw me struggling, and he was like, here. And he just sent me a bunch of DEC, and he was like, just go rent Kitty. And so I did. And then that day, I was into Silver. And basically, I used Lux and Kitty. And just between those two, I managed to get all the way up into Diamond 2 that season. And then at the end of that season is when I hooked up with Tyler Jorgensen of Nifty Arcade, and I had him on a stream, and he hooked me up with their flagship deck, and so then I didn't have to rent anymore for the next season, and I got up into Diamond 1, finished Diamond 2, and then the next season I rented for most of it towards the end of the season. A couple of days before the end is when I had Tyler on, and so I got the all gold max Chaos Legion deck for the last 2 days of that season, which helped me get into Diamond 1, and then I had it for the next season, and I finished Diamond 1 there. And then that was this past season. That was where I got the 70 chests and all of this. And then I pretty much haven't played since then, because Nifty got so popular that now the cheapest Diamond deck, other than that flagship deck, to rent out is a 25% player split. And I'm not willing to cause myself that much frustration for that little value. Like, 20% is ridiculous, because you're also paying Nifty a 5% fee. So a 20% player split means that I'm getting 15%. And it's like, I'm not willing to play for that. I would rather just not play. And I don't have the DEC to be able to rent to try and be competitive even in gold, which is where I'm at right now, because obviously knocked down from Diamond 1 to Gold 1 end of season. I have played a few games. I've lost them all. So I'm currently at 0 wins for the season. Yeah, exactly, Canada. Like, it's with all of the changes that they're making to the rewards, rather than just giving us player staking, which would actually solve the problem that all of these rewards changes are trying to solve. And again, it's another situation of the idea behind this is fine. It's not a terrible idea, but we already have the answer for this problem, and it's not this, it's what we've already been waiting on for 2 years. Land is what will fix DEC. Player staking is what will fix rewards. Staking requirements is what will fix rewards. We've been waiting on these, and everything that they keep putting out in the meanwhile is not only a waste of time in terms of getting what we actually need out, it is also actively hurting the economy and the game and the players, especially the low-end players, the new players, the ones who are just coming into the game, the ones who are starting out, the ones who don't already have, you know, $100,000 deck. Now player staking is up for reinterpretation. Yes and no. I mean, honestly, I do feel like I'm okay if the numbers change a little bit, as long as that's it. Like, because currently, my understanding of the way it is basically your reward share would be equal to your SPS divided by your SPS plus 1,000. So for me, I have 13,148. So it would be divided by 14,148. So I would earn 92.93% of my rewards. And with that, it's like, and I mean, even so for noobs, it would be like, say you've got 10 SPS divided by 1,010. That's going to be terrible because you're earning less than 1%, right? And so I could see it being something more logarithmic or whatnot. Like, I don't. You know what? Let's spreadsheet this and see if we can't figure something out here. Because that's actually a very good point. I would like to. So you can see here that, I mean, as you get up to, like, as you're below 1,000, things are absolutely terrible. Like, you are less than, with 1 SPS, you are less than 0.1% of your earnings that you would get. At 10, you're getting just under 1%. At 100, you get almost 10%, or you get a little over 9%. At 1,000, you get half. And then you can see how things kind of quickly fall off. Like, you get up to 1,000, then you're earning half of your rewards, and then you have to get more and more and more SPS to make gains. Oops. Yeah, so it does give you diminishing returns on staking, but yeah, the how little you're getting at that very low end is very, very kind of disheartening. But with that being said, I mean, even, you know, to get to 1,000 SPS right now, you're talking about $20. So I still feel like it's pretty reasonable. And then you're at, $20 in addition to your spell book, and you're earning half of your rewards. It's fairly reasonable. Now, the problem with this is, also remember that just like with the card level adjustments and whatnot, this does mean that over time, the prize pools are going to get larger because there are fewer rewards coming out of it. Askew, rephrase, please. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. But welcome and hello. Good morning. They should include a +2 for everyone over 50K staked. Well, that would mean that at 50K, you're getting 100% rewards. And then there would be no need to push beyond 50K. Now, what I want to try and mess around with is, let's see what we can do with some different formulas here. If we made it a plus 100, then you see we move the 50% return down to 100. And we get 99% rewards at 10,000. But we also bring, at 1 SPS, you are earning just under 1%. That is fairly straightforward. But there's got to be a way that we can make this No, that's not going to work. No, that wouldn't work. I don't know. Anyone got any ideas on how to make that actually work? I have not heard anything regarding timing on player staking. Yeah, I'm with you, Bushwhack. Like, I like this setup seems solid. And I could see, like, maybe adjusting the number after the plus, you know, but I don't even think that's really necessary. I feel like this is actually a really solid place to have it. I mean, you're earning 99% of your rewards at 100,000 SPS staked. That's, you know, yeah, that's solid. And this is actually a conversation I was having with Stever as well. He's the one who pointed out the formula and whatnot to me. And, what's good, Lucido? The more SPS I have, the more tournaments I can join for higher payouts. Yeah, it will be after nodes. I don't know why they're sticking to their guns about it has to be after nodes, but like, this could be instituted before nodes. We already have the player staking requirements, or the SPS staking requirements for tournaments. So we could have the SPS requirements for rewards right now. They could have put it in with the last patch. But they're waiting to institute this until player staking can be introduced. And player staking, I believe, also could be done beforehand, but they're doing player staking as part of nodes, which I can understand. But the problem is all of that should have been done and instituted with the change to SPS rewards. Like, if that's the case and they're not doing any of this until nodes come out, then we should have switched to SPS rewards when nodes came out. Like, just like when Chaos Legion came out, we should have made the switch to Wild and Modern right then, not 6 weeks after. And y'all know how I feel about that. It actually shouldn't have happened until Rebellion, because there's just not enough of a difference between the leagues as it is currently. But, like, things that should be done together are being split apart, and that is part of the problem that we're having. Where'd they go? Yeah, I don't... They want the nodes to be the things running the player staking itself. Yeah, I do understand that. Their selling point was Hardpoint was being put on nodes. I think the last town hall, though, they said Hardpoint was being moved again to tower defense. I don't have land because so far it's just been a promise of things that might come. Yeah, there's a whole lot of promise of things that might come, and that's part of the problem. I'm with you on that. I don't have land because I had to pay rent. So, unfortunately, last night I had to sell way too much of everything. And, I had to make things happen. When they said trading made resources, maybe here, December 23, I died a little inside. Yeah, maybe. And that's that is the thing that is actually going to fix the economy, and nothing else is. So, yeah, I fully understand where you're coming from on that. Like, it's not a good look, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one. It's all right, so the keyword is no-2-DEC-B. I do have subscriber luck on, so 2 chances for subs. Feel free to sub if you want that little extra. Agor, type out 2. I never did find out what happened to my Splinterland or to my DEC transaction. I did find out that someone from Splinterland support is in my guild. I think I remember you mentioning something along those lines previously, Canada, but I'm not familiar with the whole story. Bushwhack, as bearish as things are, I've decided I won't sell. I just wish I spread out my investments time-wise. In the long run, I think Splinterlands will be top of the class. I'm absolutely with you on that as well. Good going, Agor. Fine, I see you. Yeah, Bushwhack, I agree that Splinterlands is, it's where I want to be. I wish I didn't have to sell so much, but this full-time content thing is not working out for me as well as I had hoped, which is why I have an interview here in 40 minutes as soon as I get off. I've been out trying to get another job and whatnot. It's a rough time of year to be looking, but it's whatever. So I'm still working on it, and when I have some actual income again, then I will definitely be resuming my DCA in. But yeah, this one is really Dalai Lama. I need you to set your name with the Splinterlands bot, please. I will show you how to do it in a moment. Like, this one would be really good. It's actually like a radio job, professional, get out of fucking restaurants and whatnot. Sorry, get out of restaurants. That's just how much I hate that line of work. Okay, you got it in there, and then now go ahead and do the no to DEC-B again. Yeah, I'm not, well, it's not even that. I actually like the work. It's the atmosphere and the way that, that you're treated. Not even by the customers, but by, like, management and whatnot. Like, I'm done with kitchens. Just done with kitchens. Done with waiting. Walk the grid. No-2-D. There you go. On it. I see you. Bushwhack, are you getting in on this giveaway? I don't know what we're gonna do for it yet, but we'll figure something out. Goodbye to the toxicity of your city. Of our city. Alrighty. I'm just making sure before I run it. Alright, walk the grid. Congratulations. See what we got here. We're gonna summoner off, gold off, regular foil, owned, not delegated. All right, and then we got 136 cards here. $128. Okay. All right, actually, let's 54 level ones. $35. 40. Okay, number 35 is Technozoologist. Alrighty, sent on. Congratulations. Got another one going. Yes to player staking. How you doing, Poppy? What's good, Vanguards? Wang Smith coming out of the woodwork now. Alright, I don't know why you're not in, Walk. You typed it correctly, it looks like. Dolly, Canada. Well, honestly, like, this is not even the one that I applied for. Like, I had to, in order to put in an application, I had to set up a new account and post my resume on a new site. And then I got contacted, so I'm not 100% what this one actually is. Like, that's going to be something that I'm finding out here in, half an hour or so. So I unfortunately don't have a good answer for you. Why is that not? All right, well, now you're in, Walk. I don't know why it was not putting you in there. But probably something along the lines of like advertising, sales, stuff like that, cold calling and team management. I mean, yeah, I can understand that. Like, I don't tend to listen to much radio. I'm constantly YouTube. Like, I got YouTube Premium. It's the best streaming service that I have, and I'm probably at least 12 hours a day. I'm listening to Splinterland's content. Whether it be Bulldog, Dwayne, Splinterlands HQ, Aftersound. Like, I can't keep up with all of it, but I do give it a good shake. And then I also I listen to a lot of other stuff as well, like general crypto type stuff and general knowledge outside of crypto. Like I've definitely been following kind of fallen down the rabbit hole of the Whistlerverse. If anyone knows about Brainblaze or Decoding the Unknown, he's pretty hilarious. Yeah, like YouTube Premium is definitely, it's my bread and butter, and I'm probably 16 plus hours a day. YouTube is what's going for me. Some good crypto shows. I like, and I might not agree with everything that they say, especially in terms of politics and not crypto specific. But I like BitBoy. I like Crypto Kirby. I like Rand Neuner. And I honestly, I think that Sheldon the Sniper is probably Sheldon the Sniper and Crypto Kirby are probably the two best chartists that I have found. Obviously, don't follow anybody by rote, do your own research, everything like that, not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. But what's good, Camino? Long time no see. How you been? Go ahead and type in the chat, yes-2-player-staking. Get in on this here giveaway. Yeah, those are pretty much my favorites as far as general crypto. Also digital asset news and Altcoin Daily. There are also some really good ones. Like, there's a lot of good information out there. Crypto Wendio. And then I also listen to a lot of like documentaries and whatnot, like deep dives on the whole situation with China and Taiwan, like Russia and the Ukraine. I listen to a lot of Lex Friedman's stuff. I'm trying to work my way through his backlog. He's got over 300 episodes and they're all like 3 hours long, so it's going to take a long time, but those conversations are fascinating. And he's got like all of the guests. So that's actually one of my life goals, is I want to be on the Lex Friedman podcast. That would be like, I would love to be one of his guests anytime. So yeah, like that's pretty much where my entertainment is. Obviously, like if I'm in the car with my lady, then we're listening to the radio or one of her CDs or whatnot. But like if I'm in the car by myself, radio's off, YouTube is on. I'm not watching, I'm just listening, but like that's what I'm listening to. Isn't he though? And I've learned so much about things that I didn't even know existed, like because of him. Like he's just opened my worldview entirely. And honestly, it was crypto that got me into Lex Friedman. Like I think the first time I really came across him was when he was talking to Charles Hoskinson and Vitalik Buterin. Like that's kind of how those paths ended up crossing. And then I started, diving deeper into his stuff, because that was like the saving grace of being in a kitchen, was I could, throw in one ear pod, throw on a Lex Friedman podcast, and, not have to worry about what I was listening to for the next like 3 hours. I have yet to embark on Joe. I have not listened to any of Joe Rogan, and that's not like anything against him. It's just that I haven't gotten there yet, because there's so much other stuff. Like I know that's another really deep rabbit hole. Like if I start listening to Joe and I really like Joe, then it's just, I don't have enough time in the day for that, you know? It's nothing against him, although that is another one that I probably would not necessarily agree with on a lot of, political things or whatnot, a lot of worldviews, but at the same time, I can still listen to the conversation and I can still take something from it, even if I don't agree with 100% of where you stand. And it's just like, with the Splinterlands community, I know there's many people who disagree with me, and I'm still more than happy to have a conversation with you, because maybe I'll learn something, maybe you'll learn something, but either way, we'll probably both come out better for it as long as it's handled respectfully. There's definitely some parts of the community that are not so respectful, and that's going to be any problem in any group of people. You've got a couple of winners and a couple of losers, and that's just how it is. But overall, I feel like we've got a great community, and overall, I feel like that kind of sector of YouTube, the deep dive kind of interview style podcast is a pretty strong community as well. Mostly good people. Wang Smith, you are not entered. Dalai Lama, you are not entered. Yes to player staking. And I'm wondering if anybody can guess what the next giveaway keyword is going to be. All right, Dolly, you are in. Wang Smith. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Mobitar. All right, 13. Thought so. Merdampier. On its way, congratulations. Ah, no, that was not it. Wenland. Spell it properly. I should have put a tag for Aggie in there. Dino Boy, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? Oh man, I just realized how off my face is on my card. We got the new camera all set up and not everything is perfectly ready yet. All adjusted and whatnot. At least the caffeine is starting to kick in and the headache is starting to fade away. Oh yeah, yeah. How you doing, Kraken? What's good with you? I like it. I like that. Did you actually want to enter, Kraken? Red light, warm bulb helps, red side. Yep, like that indeed. Don't forget the question mark, Canada. Although for you, I might just allow when land, eh? For the rest of y'all in the chat, do y'all know how we came up with the name for Canada? Because yes, I am Canadian. I'm living in Florida now, but was born in Toronto. I came up with the name Canada. Some drunk guy was just drawing letters out of a hat. He said C, eh? N, eh? D, eh? Canada. Yeah, technically Hamilton, but nobody knows where Hamilton is, so. If anybody's heard of the soap opera General Hospital, I was literally born in the hospital that they used as, like, a reference for the hospital in that show. Of course, that show's not actually filmed in the hospital. It's all a set, but, you know. I've never actually seen it either. I just happen to know that. Well, yeah, you know where Hamilton is. If you were born in Cornwall, of course. But that makes, you know, you and me. Like, even Alexander doesn't know where Hamilton is. Like, that's 2 out of 7 billion. It's like saying Whitby, Ontario. Like, who knows where Whitby is? Who knows where Oshawa is? If you're not from within 10 minutes of there, you don't know. Oh, I'm from Ajax. You mean the cleaner? Nobody knows Ajax is the name of a city. Scarborough. Wait, you live in Simba's uncle? Alright, you gotta add that question mark though, Canada. Oh yeah, I mean there's random places everywhere. It's like saying DeBerry, Florida. Like if you're not from the immediate area, you're not gonna know where DeBerry is. That's why I'm north of Orlando. There you go. Now you're in it. Anyone else? 5, 4, 3, 2. Late. Out Wars. Congratulations. Random number 1 to 52, 22. All right, portal spinner. Congratulations. Okay, with the search phrase being port, how is Venari Scout here? That don't make no sense to me. Very strange. Very, very strange indeed. My pleasure, Outwars. Enjoy. Let's see. What else do I want to have fun with? Actually, let's, before we start, there, refresh. We got a new giveaway up. We got about 10 minutes left. And who is following us today? Does it actually show here? No, it still says new guy 26 there. You would think I would know this by now, as many times as I've covered this shift. Oh, it is Kraken. And since I have seen you in the chat, I am assuming that you are going to be streaming. So we've got about 10 minutes left. And then stay tuned for Kraken Jr. Some more excellent content. Probably better than my own, because I'm not feeling great today. So I know that between the lack of cards and I can't play. So it's kind of been an interesting stream. But I hope that y'all have enjoyed it. Kraken, how are you voting on this DEC-B proposal? Not better, just with an accent. Hey. the accent definitely does make it sound more intriguing and appealing. You're voting yes? Can I ask why? What is your reasoning behind it? Unfortunately, I will not be able to actually, like, watch your stream, at least the first half hour or so of it, because as soon as I'm done here, I have a phone call for an interview. I know it'd be easier for you to, you know, just say it in 10 minutes than to type it out in the meanwhile, but... Alrighty, Wangsmith, I see you in Outwars. You forgot the second half. And I understand that. Like, and that's why I still love this game. Like, I feel like this proposal is misguided and counterproductive, but, like, I'm not holding that against the team. I just, you know, I'm voting no because I feel like it's just further inflation and it's actually a step in the wrong direction. But I feel like overall the team is still, you know, building and in the right direction. This one has too many kind of poison pills for me. I like the idea behind it, and I understand what they're trying to do. I just feel like this proposal has a lot of errors in details. Like, it shouldn't be another token. It should be, you know, because it's basically it's making the tokenomics of DEC look better, but it's actually just further inflation, and it's causing a bigger problem as opposed to actually solving the issue. And the biggest issue that I have with it, as I spoke about earlier, is the fact that it's not a one-time thing. And I mean, I've been saying, even, you know, from the day it came out, like, I know there's pretty much no way that this doesn't pass. But I'm still, you know, I'm not going to not cast my vote against it when I feel like it is a bad thing long-term for the game. That being said, you know, I've made my peace that it's probably going to happen, and, you know, hopefully I'm wrong. It certainly wouldn't be the first time that's happened, but I don't see it going very well. And my biggest problem with it is the fact that, you know, then after it goes into effect, then the community will be able to make more at any time, which means that the whales will be in control of printing more DEC-B and more inflation, and as being the ones that can actually take the best advantage of it, I feel like that is... Yeah, like, on a personal level, we all stand to benefit from it in the short term. More so if you have dry powder. Like me, I don't have anything. I sold everything last night to pay bills. So I don't have the best ability to take advantage of it. I don't have the dry powder. But that's not why I'm voting against it. I'm voting against it because it's pure and simple inflation. And the last thing we need for DEC right now is more inflation. Like, people are arguing against the creation of, you know, 70 million DEC per season for the leaderboard rewards. It's like, we've got 6.3 billion. That's, you know, that's not even 1%. XVAX, close but no cigar. But this is actual, like, real significant inflation. And I'm still like, I'm not saying that, we shouldn't replace the leaderboard rewards with something else. I feel like that would be fairly easy to do. I am in support of the Chaos Legion packs idea, or something else. I don't, have a proposal for that. But overall, Mobitar again. Woot woot. Look at you getting all sorts of lucky. Overall, I feel like that is, the wrong place to be directing our ire, when overall, like, this is creating significantly more inflation than even a year's worth of leaderboard rewards would. It was 22, right? 40. Last one was 22. Alright, so Vampire Bat it is. Transfer to Mobitar. Confirm. Vampire Bat sent. Congratulations. Enjoy. Hopefully that helps you get your next level. But yeah, this is why I'm voting no on it. We've only got a couple of minutes left, but quick rundown. Current supply, 6.259 billion. If we burn 1.6 billion to get 2 billion DEC-B, we end up with actual circulation of 4.659 billion, but the combined supply will be 6.659 billion. So this would potentially push the DEC price to 76.2 cents per thousand, which would be an increase of less than 20 cents over where we are now. And more importantly, less than halfway to the par value that we're trying to reach. But overall, the additional supply would cause less burning of DEC in the long run, and that would actually give us a fair price based on the combined supply of 53.36 cents on the thousand. If we were to burn all of the vouchers and get the 1.2 billion DEC-B out of them, would leave 800 million DEC-B, which would cost 640 million DEC. That would give us a post-burn supply of DEC at 5.619 billion, pushing the price to 63.24 cents on the thousand. But again, the increased supply of 1.2 billion from the vouchers and then 160 million from the DEC burn gives us an actual supply of 6.979 billion, pushing the price to 50.91 cents. And really, it just, even in a best case scenario here, which we know is not going to happen because people are going to burn vouchers, it would not even get us halfway. In order to get us to the par value, we would actually have to burn 2.73 billion DEC, which would give us 3.412 billion DEC-B, which would give us an increased supply of 682.5 million, give us a total supply of 9.67 billion, and would realistically push the actual price to 36.74 cents per thousand. I mean, it's just, this is exactly why I'm voting against it. We already have the answer for this problem. It is land. They just need to get land out. That's why, when land is even as a non-landowner, land is what we need for this economy to actually work.